And Claire Mansour for Christian Unity had a conversation with Father Bacchus of the St. Sophia Cathedral regarding his opinion on Christian unity. Claire?
In the segment of Christian Unity for today, we are honored to have with us Father John Bacchus from St. Sophia Greek Orthodox Cathedral. Father, I want to ask you this question. What unites us is more than what divides us. What was the breaking point that separated Catholics from Orthodox?
This is a very complicated question. The breaking point that separated us were theological, but as importantly, there were cultural differences that developed. There were linguistic differences, political and economic differences. All of these things combined in the great divorce between the West and the East. It's not just a simple question. A lot of Orthodox Christians say it's the filioque, about the procession of the Holy Spirit. It's a very small thing. It's a very, very complicated thing, and we need to re-examine this tragic divorce that happened between East and West nearly 1,000 years ago, because we need each other more than we need to be apart from one another.
You know, many people don't know what the filioque is. Can you just explain it for them?
Well, the filioque is where in the West, unilaterally, the creed, which is the fundamental constitution, the belief of the Church, the original creed said that the Holy Spirit proceeds from the Father, and together with the Father and Son is worshipped and glorified. In the West, it was changed several centuries after the original composition, and in the West they changed it, and it says the Holy Spirit proceeds from the Father and the Son, which then means that the balance of the Holy Trinity is taken off. It makes the third person of the Trinity somehow lesser or inferior to God the Father and God the Son. And the fundamentals of Orthodox Christianity is the complete dependence on the Holy Trinity, the balance of the Holy Trinity. So this was a unilateral change of Christian theology without the benefit of ecumenical agreement or councils. So this is one of the many, many reasons why the divorce happened. It's like a couple, a man and a wife get divorced. It isn't just one reason. There are a number of things that culminate. One reason triggers many other reasons. But it's time now that we examine this separation and we begin to look at a common Christian witness in a world that is in turmoil, and we need to be looking at finding ways to cooperate, because frankly, one arm, the West, and the other arm, the East, needs to work together to have a complete body.
Do you think the dialogues that's going on between the Greek Orthodox and the Catholics will produce fruits, or it's dead?
Any dialogue can produce fruit, but beyond looking at reconciliation between the East and the West, we must find reconciliation between the East and the East. We Orthodox must begin to talk to one another. Sometimes it's easier to talk to our Catholic friends than it is with some of our Orthodox friends, because one of the great, I think, sins in Orthodoxy is that we see ourselves ethnically first and second as Orthodox. So we are Syrian or Lebanese, we are Russian or Bulgarian or Serbian or Greek or Romanian, then we're Orthodox.
So the last question for you is, what is the key in your vision to Christian unity?
The key is to depend and to seek those things that kept us united in the first 1,000 years, to depend on God and on man. What is keeping us divided now is really the basic things of who controls, who has the power. When the West begins to realize that the Pope is not the emperor of the Christian world, he's not the king, that he can be first among equals, he has the title and the honor of being first among equals, but not the only representative of Christ or the ruler of the Church. When we begin then to return to the ecumenical councils, then we begin then to talk, but we must talk as equals, not as master to the subservient side.
Thank you very much, Father. I would like to mention one thing, that we have to pray a lot now for Christians to be united and be able to share the table of the Lord together. Thank you so much, Father.